Welcome to Art of Enchantment with Yana Good and the magical island of Bali. Would you like to know the secrets of the greatest women in this world? How they have opened themselves up fully and completely in their own feminine essence, in their power of sensuality, in their ability to be free in love, in their ability to inspire the greatest men for the greatest accomplishments in this world. Or maybe you would simply like to let go of your fears and to just embrace your own delicate, sweet, feminine essence and open up and just become a woman that knows and desires to love and to be loved. Whether you're single at the moment or you're in a wonderful relationship that you want to improve, or in a relationship that is completely coming to an end and you're suffering greatly, it doesn't matter. This video and the programs that I have created for you will help you to open up and fall in love with yourself. Will help you to learn how to create a field of love that radiates from inside of you, from your womb, from your heart, and from your third eye. How to become integrated and connected as the feminine earth and the feminine divine. How to unite the heaven and earth in your body and open up through the heart this powerful space of love where you don't need your mother anymore to love you and your father anymore to love you or anyone in this world to really tell you how lovable and beautiful you are, but you yourself will open up and connect to your inner powers of beauty, love, and feminine power. I invite you to explore this journey with me. I will share with you something that might be painful at first, but it possesses great power in it because it's the truth. Men, and so do women actually, do not fall in love. A man does not fall in love with a specific woman. A man falls in love with the woman that makes him feel in a particular way, in the way that he desires to feel. Women fall in love with the man that makes them feel a certain way. And what we truly need in another person is something that activates our inner magnet. It is our opposites that attract because we want to enrich ourselves through each other. One of the grandest problems we have right now in the relationships is women running their magnet on a masculine frequency. They're burning up in fire and they're open in the air. If you are very physically active and you're thinking, I can do this, it's all in my hands, I am the master of my destiny and so forth, you're operating on fire, which is a basic masculine sexual energy. It also translates in a space that the woman's testosterone becomes very high. The women that go to the gym a lot and work out, and their body becomes very muscular, very physically active, they run on testosterone. They turn their inner fire on. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, it turns you, your magnet, on a masculine frequency. It's important to keep that in mind. If you're all in the air, meaning you're intellectual and you're spiritual and you're all in the spiritual practices, or you're studying because you're a scientist and you develop this identity, I am smart and I have a PhD, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a lawyer, and all of this stuff, then again, that's the masculine frequency activating the air, And what that happens is that it makes you completely unattractive to a masculine man. It can make you attractive to a more feminine man, because then the magnet will unite. But if you want to experience happiness in a feminine body, through the feminine hormones activating your estrogen and progesterone, so that the hormones that make you beautiful as a woman, that allow you to bloom and blossom like a flower in a relationship and not to burn up as a candle, you must learn how to turn your magnet, your frequency in your hormonal system, bring it into a feminine balance, into a feminine essence. You need to discover how to every chakra open up and make it radiant and connect the elementals of the earth and the water, and only then the fire and the air. So I want to tell you a little story first. You know what fascinated me on discovering this journey, on opening up in my feminine essence, was 7 years ago. I've accomplished everything in this masculine world that I dreamed about. I've got the highest education. I built a $5 million business and network marketing company. I've experienced phenomenal relationship where my husband worshipped the grounds I walked, and he was a very wealthy man, so I was gifted everything that one could ever desire. Life was magnificent. And yet I always felt that there is a part of me that is not fully open, that I'm missing on something in life, and nothing externally can really satisfy it. So then I started studying the life of the greatest women, and I was fascinated. How come Julius Caesar, a great man in Rome, who could have hundreds or thousands of slaves, most beautiful girls from all over the world, delivered to him on a silver platter, and yet he chose to take his army, thousands of men, get on the ships and undertake a long journey, a difficult journey through the sea, through the land, to come in front of Cleopatra, a woman who demanded him to solve all of her political problems and issues, who treated him in a very unique way. One of the stories was he shows up and she refuses to grant him audience. She puts him in a position where he leaves, but then she comes back with the ships, and the sails were saturated with the jasmine oil. There were lights and carnival on the ship, and when that ship arrived close enough to his ship before he would leave, for him to receive an invitation to visit her, and now when he came to see her, she created such a sumptuous experience for him, such an explosion of sensual feast for his eyes, for his soul, for his body, that he forgot about the months of traveling and the humiliation she put him through. I wanted to study and learn the secrets of the women that could conquer the hearts of the men, that could conquer the world, that could have any girl they wanted, but they would choose to come and worship and adore and even lay their life for the love of the greatest woman of his heart. And so was the story of Cleopatra. Eventually, Caesar has sacrificed his life for her. he ordered in Rome to create a statue of Cleopatra, putting her in the ranks of the goddesses, the goddess of Venus. And the Romans didn't like it, and eventually he laid his life for her. And what's so fascinating is that already now, not so young and with a child woman, continues to excite the hearts of men to the level that the next ruler of Rome, the beautiful young, right now I forgot his name, Antonio, I believe. I just made this video in Russian, so I forgot how to pronounce some things in English. Forgive me for that, but you know who I'm talking about. Mark Antonio, there we go. So Mark Antonio follows into footprints of Caesar, goes and dedicates his life to serving her political needs and her as a woman, and at the end lays down his life for her as well. And the legends say that when Cleopatra desired intimacy, the man who would spend one night with the queen knew that if they chose to experience this sensual feast, this outer-worldly experience, and they knew that they would be fed to the crocodiles, and yet they chose to spend that one night to have this one-in-a-lifetime experience with a woman who sensually and spiritually embodied the pleasures of the Mother Earth and channeled the goddess Isis in her body. Becoming the dream woman is an art. It's an art of enchantment. But it's so exciting to live your life opening yourself up, filling yourself up with love and life and beauty and magic, to become a woman that can create such an experience, such a journey, such an adventure for your man, that he could just forget about everything. Very often women will say, oh, we got married and now he's drinking a lot, or he does drugs, or he looks at other women and so forth. Why is that? Because a man is always looking for a substance in which he will be carried away, where he would forget his mind, lose his mind, and melt away in an ocean of an experience that only a woman, only a water can provide. And if a woman is not filled up with her water, with her sexual energy, in her pure, like a crystal cup, virgin womb, he will never experience that. Thus he will drink himself away so he could get lost in the drunkenness of the magic of the alcohol creates, or he will take a drug so he can leave his body and experience this melting away and dissolving in this experience, although he knows that both substances will kill him. A man is learned from that. A man is willing to sacrifice everything for the experience of melting and dissolving in the magic of life. And it is the feminine energy that can create this field of magic where he can lose his head, where he can expand through his body into the energy body and experience what love and the divine and the earth is, to experience paradise on earth. For that, he needs a woman. The same practices nowadays continue to do geishas. They have done it in the past in India, the Vavisatis. They were like geishas in Japan, and they were in the same rank of goddesses in India. That fascinated me. So when I started to study the Greek goddess, Thais, I don't know how to say her name in English, Thais Afinska is in Russian. Thais of Athens, perhaps? I don't know how to pronounce it, forgive me. When I was 16, I read her story with Alexander the Great. And I remember when I was reading the book, my sensuality was opening up. And I was so deeply scared. So deeply scared of fully opening up, because in my country, then the flower could have been plucked and prematurely. I would have even forced to get married. I could have been raped, and so forth. And so most of the women from childhood are not allowed to fully open up, to fully experience the magic of blooming as a flower in your sensuality, in your sexuality, in a healthy and natural way. So being born and raised in this masculine world, the woman only knows how to develop and activate her inner man. And then the inner man is protecting that little tiny girl inside that has never opened up in her feminine powers, have never bloomed into a full-blown woman, so to speak. So when I decided to go on this journey to open myself up and allow myself to live this life in a feminine body, following the path of the feminine, and to making my man the happiest man in the world, I realized that one of the secrets of these greatest women was that none of them ever was thrown into this world of the masculine world to deal and to learn how to be a woman through a man. The story of the girl in the modern world is such that as she is just awakening in her sensuality and sexuality as a little girl, first the mother, then the father, then the society, everything pressures and scares her in one way or the other. And then she is brought up in school as a little boy. She has to think like a man, act like a man, dress as a man, drive a car, ride a bike, do things and create things, all in a masculine world. And then when she is just opening up in her sensuality and ready for that first intimacy, she's thrown into a man's world, and sometimes the man himself doesn't know what to do. He himself has not opened up. And her experience is just trauma on trauma, trauma on trauma. And then she spends years and years and years trying to heal herself, heal her wounds with her mother issues and the father issues and her sexuality and her fears and her femininity. And it's such a confusion. And I meet women of all ages, and they go and read 1,000 books on personal development, and they go through different coaches, and they work so hard and invest all their time, and they go into the spiritual journey. And years and years and years pass, and I looked around and I could not see a happy, open, radiant woman filled with love that was able to create this field of love around her. And so then I thought, well, what is the secret? How do I do this for myself? I desire this. And after 7 years of studying everything under the moon, I finally, when I got back and reread Thais Afinska, the book, and I started studying very closely the art of the geishas, the art of the Greek goddesses, the shamanic tradition, the tantric tradition. Now from the space of awareness and maturity, and relooking at this and looking for the secrets, I discovered them. And it was magical. And finally everything I was able to put together here in Bali. I took a year of just expanding and practicing and honing my skills and just breathing, living, and working with the women on the womb opening program. I've discovered that one of the greatest secrets is that those women were never thrown into the world of men to be traumatized and learn the hard way, because it's impossible for the delicate flower to trust and fully open up if it is under the conditions that are threatening its own survival. You see, the geishas, Cleopatra, and the Guterres, all the women at a very young age, first and foremost, were sent into the school of the feminine arts. Different nationalities, different stories. But first, they went to another woman and they have learned the arts and they have opened up and they practiced, and then they understood what their feminine energy is and what the masculine energy is. They understood how to create the magnet, how to work with it, and only then they entered into the world of men. And now they started working with the masculine energy from the power space of true feminine, of the goddess divine in the feminine body. So when I realized that, I was like, how can I help women? What do we do now? I mean, we live in this world and it is what it is, right? What do we do about this? So I have thought out the programs in such a way that first and foremost, the first program is the womb cleansing program. And in this program, through 8 steps, I take you and connect you to the power of your sensuality, to your second chakra. And first and foremost here, we bring your energy back to the virgin space. We clear the crystal cup. Because if you imagine like a filter from the coffee, you wash it a little bit and it still has stuck some coffee beans and the tea leaves and other things. And then you're pouring a pure white crystal water. And then there's a beautiful cup here. What happens? Will you ever drink a pure water from this cup? No way. The filter must be pure and clean, and then whatever liquid you pour, if you pour honey and nectar of love, then in the cup you will have nectar of love and he will be drinking that. If you're pouring through a filter, like if in your womb is all this stuck energy with the past relationships where you're still hurt, or you know what it is when you've had sexual encounters with men that is not love or ended up badly, how much pain there is and hurt. So cleaning your womb first from all the past sexual encounters, also your heart center and your mental center. So making your feminine energy just pure first and preparing the crystal cup. Through this womb cleansing program, then I take you deep inside of you and allow you to heal all of your childhood fears. I'm not lovable enough. I'm not good enough. I'm afraid of death. I'm afraid of age. I'm afraid of not having children. I'm afraid of having children. I'm afraid of guilt or this or that. All of these issues that we have, they're actually not in your head. The energy is conglomerated in the womb. Once we go deep inside and clear that, then the head can release. Then you will be fine. Then you go and you heal your relationship with your mother. You heal the womb of all the women in your lineage, and you're reborn in the light again. It's a most magnificent process. Then I take you on the journey of healing the father lineage. So when you come back and you're reborn, you feel so deeply, energetically supported and loved by the man. Then your confidence shifts. Then you can build a relationship with your external man from a pure space of power, instead of playing out the daddy issues, with your man. And your man is not a therapist. He is coming for the sumptuous feast of love. He is not coming to heal you and deal with your darkness, So, the next step is we open up the radiance of your womb. Once we clean it from all the past sexual lovers, from all the emotional issues, from the mother and father issues. And now your room is clean and the energy is like a virgin. Then we take away the shield that you built to protect yourself so you can become radiant. And the last 2 steps in the womb cleansing program, I teach you how to turn on your sexual magnet and how to start every morning creating rituals of enchantress to awaken as a woman and to awaken your feminine yumminess. So this program is extraordinary, and I believe every single woman must go through this. Well, I have done it over the last 2 years many times, and every time I go deep inside of myself, a new layer of freedom opens up for me. So highly recommend it. In fact, just recently I redid with Healing with the Mother, because my client is this powerful coach from Russia, and she is like almost enlightened. She works in the ether. She just feels everything, sees everything. She's this powerful woman. And she just kept writing to me, Yana, I love this program, this is brilliant, and just adoring me so much. And I was like, wow, like it's so pleasant to receive such love, such adoration. And she says, I'm finding my power in connecting to the mother, and purifying her womb. So I was like, I got jealous. I was like, oh, I should do that one too. So I go deep inside, and this time, instead of healing myself through the mother lineage, I go in and I heal my mother's womb, and then I heal my grandmother's womb, and it was so powerful. And then when I come out, it's like this union of the feminine circle around me, and it was empowering. So this program is not that you do it one time and it's over with. As you continue to grow and evolve, once in a while you go back to it and you just expand into a new level of greatness. The second step, after you complete with the womb cleansing, it's like the crystal cup is now ready. Now you want to fill it up with the feminine magic. Now you're going to learn how to work with the elements and how to balance all the elements inside of your womb, activating the sexual forces. It will help you to balance yourself hormonally. Here I'm sharing with you the basics of the earth element, the water element, and you unite with the goddess of the earth and the goddess Aphrodite. I recommend to every woman for a very long time to work in these 2 energetics first, to expand yourself in the feminine magic first. And only when you feel really like you can flow through the Aphrodite, you connect to her essence, and you can become orgasmic in a watery way right away, then you know you've mastered the element. Then go and start practicing with the fire, and then connect to the air. They each kind of step by step open up your chakras and prepare you for love, because love is in the heart. But in the heart, the energy has to flow through the roots, through the womb, through your fire of desire has to be activated, and then the flower of love can bloom in your heart. So that's what the program does with the 4 elements, the rituals with the 4 elements. If you want the progress to be fastest, then at the very same time, you can also purchase the 3rd program at the same time as you're working with the rituals. The 3rd program is the Enchanting Meditations for Women. You will activate your 3rd power center. So if the womb cleansing heals your 1st power center, your womb, your power of sensuality, if the working with the elements allows you to activate your 1st center, your sexuality, through the elementals, and move that energy and fill up your womb, so you become a woman, womb man. You see the difference? It's a man with a womb. Yeah? So instead of running our life as a man, you will now start feeling and be felt by the world of man as a woman. because your womb will be filled up with feminine energetics. As side effects, your skin becomes more radiant because estrogen is wonderful for the skin. Your hair becomes shiny. Your moods improve. I don't experience this lows anymore because the progesterone makes me happy. So anyhow, if you want to learn more about this program, I do have a beautiful video for free in front of before you purchase the 4 elements, where I explain more how the elementals work. Enjoy it. So this program is phenomenal. So it opens up your first center. So now you've got 2 power centers going on, and you've awakened to your feminine. And now we have to open up the love in the heart. How do we do this? If the programs in the head, I am not lovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. So the third program, the Enchanting Meditations for Women, is magical. This is now the only way I work with women, is through doing the healings, through the trance meditations after they have done those 2 programs. There's 7 of them, and again they each open up you chakra by chakra, but they change your conscious and subconscious mind. Every morning when I awaken, I start with one of those meditations. So I recommend you start with the first one, I am beautiful. Good news for you, surprise, surprise, I'm gifting it to you. The full version of this amazing meditation, I am beautiful, which connects you to the Mother Earth and helps you become confident and beautiful and grounded, which is the first step for a woman to open up in herself, is that. So I'm gifting that to you when you subscribe to the free subscription and join our Enchanting tribe, so that then you can receive more little gifts from me. And when I make an amazing retreat in Bali, you would learn about it and you could come. By the way, also subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there is so much wealth of enchanting information and inspiration for you that you're in for a treat. And be so kind, leave some comments and let me know when you like it, so it would continue to inspire me to share with you. Let the energy flow between us, yeah? Let there be a giving and receiving, and the blessings of love to flow. So the second trance meditation is I am love. Here I'm connecting you to the goddess of love, to the goddess of Aphrodite, and helping you how to open up the flowers in your womb, in your heart, in your soul, to just make you filled up with love. Imagine if every morning before you awaken, your subconsciousness is simply saturated with these new images, and it's sensual and it's spiritual and it's done in a high frequency of love, and you feel this orgasmic happiness inside of yourself. And then you get up and you go with life and you do the rituals throughout the day. They take you, 3 to 5 minutes a day to do the rituals. Can you imagine how fast the transformation will happen? It's magical. And then you go and you open up the third meditation, and it's the goddess of fire, the goddess of desire. So then you learn how to turn on your inner fire, your feminine fire, not the masculine one. Heat up your waters and become orgasmic even when you're alone. No matter how old you are, no matter how you feel, you will know how to activate this vital energy, this kundalini inside of you, and run it through your whole body. There I also connect you to your beloved. And so whether he is right now physically in your life or not, through the ether, but you will start loving him and connecting in love with him and learning how to do that as a goddess. So just extraordinary. And then the fourth step is I am enchanted. And in this trance meditation, I am uniting all the energies, balance them out, and open you up to the most enchanting version of yourself. This is where the heart really opens up. And I thought, this is it. The journey is complete. I've completed the 4 chakras. And then I decided to create I am abundant. Because what happens is when the Kundalini is rising and the heart is now filled up and radiant, then the energy, you start feeling like, I deserve everything. I want to connect to my Creator in this limitless, abundant space now, because love is overflowing through you and you feel so worthy of love. So then I created the I Am Abundant meditation that will take you to places you've never been before. It's the most healing of the inner woman and the inner man, the relationship with the money, the relationship with self-worth, the relationship with love. Everything is recalibrated. So you don't need to study about abundance. You will experience it every day. And what I meditate upon, what I vibrate as, I start to radiate that. And what I radiate into the world, I attract that. So when you radiate purity, when you radiate love, when you radiate sensuality and sexuality, you become a great woman. You become the greatest gift of God on planet Earth in a physical body. And when you accept your uniqueness and don't want to look like a plastic doll like the society would tell you to do, but you connect to your uniqueness and open up, that self-confidence that comes from the energy of abundance, of deserving of the best in this world. Then I created 2 more meditations, and that one is on the light, because some of us are very spiritual and actually the energy just rised into that level. And I wanted a very short meditation that bathes me every day with a divine love. I wanted to activate the upper chakras, and so that one is just very, very healing for the soul and for the body. And then I thought, okay, the journey is complete. And all of a sudden I realized all these meditations are wonderful to start my morning with. But at night when I come home and my mind is sometimes racing and I want to come down and go into the land of the dreams, consciously connecting to my dreams, to my coming back into my feminine essence and connecting to God and creating everything, because that's where magic happens. For the woman is at night. The woman is the moon and the man is the sun. And I realized, oh my goodness, the most important part of the feminine is the moon meditation. So that's what I created. I am the moon, he is the sun, and he is God. So if I am opening up as a goddess inside of me, only then I can see my man as a god. If I am opened up as love, only then I can love him and receive his love freely. Only when I open up in my sexuality in a feminine way, I can inspire him to step into his masculinity and to become the protector, the provider, the artist that will adore and worship and support and even give his life for the lady of his dreams, for the love of his life. If you're interested later on to connect to me live, and to, after you went through these 3 programs, to experience the art of moving these energies in a relationship, to experience this field and open up deeper and learn how to create magic in a relationship with the man, then you come for a retreat. And I will either create a private program for you, only for you, or you can join our group program and experience how your energies can now move and create whatsoever you desire in the most effortless, ecstatic, orgasmic ways. Of course, there are more programs I will be creating. I'm right now creating for men trance meditations, for children, from boys and girls, because we are what we think. What you think about, you bring about. What you fill up with, you radiate. And and what I radiate is what I create. So let us all create a beautiful, magical life. We all deserve to experience blooming sensuality. We all deserve to experience magnificent love in our hearts and connection to our divine spirit. And these 3 programs, the womb cleansing, the working with the elements, and the enchanting meditations, will help you balance everything and step by step bring you into this magical space of balance. And then abundance flows to you and the love comes to you. And who knows, maybe one day we meet in Bali and create some magic together. I would love that. With love and magic. Thank you.